Hi, welcome back to my channel. So today I'll be teaching you how to make this bar soap you are looking at right now. This bar soap is very beautiful. It smells nice, it's firm, it's hard. Within a week of making this soap, in fact within the next 3 days of making this bar soap, you can actually package it. The method I'll be using is the cold process method, and it is also friendly for those who are still beginners in making bar soap. Also, the cost of production will be cut down to the barest minimum so that we will make profit from it. I will also explain more things in the video as we progress. If you want to know the size of the soap, this B29 or F29 soap that is sold in the market is actually small compared to the one I'm holding. The normal B29 soap is a little bit like half-inch lesser compared to the width of the one I'm holding. You can see it yourself, mine is bigger. Before you start asking me in the comment section what's the length, what's the width, what's the thickness, just get an F29 soap around you and then you know the measurement of what I have in my hand. The lengths are actually the same, but the width of my own is actually bigger, so you can't expect me to sell. F29 sells their soap as cheap as 250 naira for one. Mine is actually bigger than F29, so if you want to sell this one I'm holding in my hands here, the blue soaps I'm holding, if you want to sell it 300 naira for one, if you are in Nigeria you can sell. If you want to sell it the 250, you can sell. If you're a wholesaler and you want to produce and sell to people in the market, that means you have to sell cheaper for them to resell. And then you buy nylon from the market and package. This nylon is actually very cheap. It's as cheap as 100 pieces, 200 naira. You can always get it in the market. Any place they sell nylon, just buy. Then go to a printer shop and tell them to print label for you. All these things are very easy. They will improve the appearance of your soap after making it, and then it will make it look more presentable instead of just carrying naked soap to the market. Trust me, once you package your soap well, you can sell any amount you want to sell. So stay tuned and don't go anywhere. I'm here with you. Hi, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for not going anywhere. Have you clicked the like button? Have you subscribed to my channel? Welcome to my channel. If you are new here, you are welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for always sticking with me for your DIY. So today I'll be teaching you how to make the blue laundry bar soap that I started with. And then the measurement that I'll be making use of is on the screen. You can screenshot it. I know you just saw it right now. You can just move a little bit backwards and screenshot it. Everything that I listed on the screen, I normally measure them just before I start making my production, and then let's start dissolving. So you first start with your caustic soda. Immediately you dissolve your caustic soda into your water, it will start heating up. Reactions will start taking place. Please make sure you wear your protective wear, cover your nose, wear your nose masks, wear your goggles, cover your eyes. If caustic touches your eye, it can lead to blindness. Please be very careful. Keep your children away whenever you are making your production. After which, take it outside so that all the fumes from the caustic soda can evaporate. Please do not inhale them. All this can be very hazardous. Once it has stayed out for like 10 minutes, you can now bring it in because the fumes must have reduced to some extent. Then while the water is still a little bit warm to hot, you should add in your sodium sulfate so that it can dissolve immediately. After adding in your sodium sulfate, the next thing you add is your calcium carbonate. So for this recipe, I'll be teaching you how you can use. I'll also add in calcium carbonate to your soap. The soap that we made before this particular one, the pink one on the channel, I told you guys you can make bar soap without using soda ash and calcium carbonate. So when you are buying your products, you can actually leave them out. But some persons in the comment section kept on asking me, please, can I add calcium? What if I want to add? Please just note today, if you want to add calcium carbonate to your bar soap when you are making bar soap, please don't exceed 20% of the quantity of your oil. If you don't have calcium carbonate in your country, please replace it with any other clay like kaolin clay. You can use kaolin clay of any color to replace it. You can even use bentonite clay to even replace it if it is affordable wherever you are. All this thing does is just to help to harden your soap and also give you a very firm soap. Most importantly, calcium carbonate is not a soaping material. It does not add any soaping property to your soap, but it adds weight to your soap. So once your soap must have finished curing and all the water and moisture evaporating, you will still have your oil and some of the weight of the calcium left in the soap. If you add calcium carbonate too much in your soap, it will be too noticeable. Your soap will be too chalky. You saw the other way the soap was looking very shiny and very colorful. That is the effect of not adding calcium to your soap. So add as little as possible. Just the quantity I measured is okay for you. So this is sodium silicate. Sodium silicate is made from silica gel and sodium hydroxide. It is used to create, let's say, a very dry atmosphere in any product. So it helps to make your soap to dry quickly more than ever. You understand? Your soap will dry very, very sharp. It won't waste time. So you need it in your soap, and then together with the sodium sulfate to give you a very hard bar. Remember, we are making cold process, but please, I'm not using an old caustic that was soaked a night before. I'm making it this way because I don't want to cook this soap on fire. If your caustic soda solution, if it is very cold and you add it into oil that has any combination of tallow or palm oil in it, it will seize up or it will be very thick. But if it is a bit warm or the oil is a bit warm, you will not experience speed trace. I normally see some persons tell me that immediately they added caustic soda to their oil, that everything seized, that they couldn't turn again. Just place it on heat. Control your soap, please. Let's stop letting your soap control you. Place it on heat, let it melt. Or you use caustic soda that is a little bit or hot to make your soap. So this is sulfonic acid I'm adding. We all know that some oils do not lather. I'll be combining palm kernel oil and then tallow oil to make this soap. So because of the presence of the tallow oil, I need something, any foam booster to help boost the foaming property of the soap. You can buy the foaming booster that is sold in the market, or you can use any one that you can see, please. So this is the total quantity of oil I'm using. 4 liters of oil, 2 liters of oil is palm kernel oil, and 2 liters of oil is beef tallow. The total water quantity is 3.5 liters. You can also move up to 4 liters of water if you wish to. You understand? But if you are using only palm kernel oil 4 liters to make the soap, please note that your water quantity should be reduced to 3 liters of water. 3 liters, 1 to 3. If you are also mixing something like palm kernel oil and palm oil, I will also suggest you drop your water quantity a little bit so that you will not experience water packing below your soap when you are making it after unmolding it. So because I'm using blue color, the best way to combine colors to your soap is to use oil color. What I'm using now is oil color. So combine the oil color with your oil first before you start making your soap. Combine the oil color with the oil you are using to make soap before you start making your soap. And it's good your oil is a little bit faint and not too thick, because if it is too thick, it may actually give you some kind of coloring that you may not appreciate when the soap finally comes out. So remember, this is cold process. So I've added the oil and the caustic soda is already prepared. Everything has been dissolved. So what we are going to do now is to pour in everything, mix it well, and pour into the mold. Is it not very simple? That's why I said that this procedure is very much beginner friendly. It's not those methods that they will tell you add this one first, you wait 10 minutes, you add this one, you do this one. It's not an advanced method. It's a very simple method. Anybody at all can make it. Even though you've not made bar soap before, you can make this recipe. It's as simple as ABC. Combine all your ingredients, everything you are using, to all your additive into the water. Mix it well properly. Make sure it's well dissolved. Now run it into your oil. Mix it well together and pour into your mold. It's as easy as that. It's as easy as that. So let's continue with the procedure so that we can see how the soap will turn out.
Chilling in the rain, you're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're channeling wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, oh, oh,
So you can see after adding everything, I just continue stirring. So right now, immediately adding your mixture, as you start stirring it, your trace will still be in the light trace. So you have to continue stirring till it becomes a little bit thicker, close to medium to thick trace, before you pour it into your mold. At first, the soap, caustic soda, will start reacting with the oil to saponify the oils and turn it into soap. If you notice any floating of oil on your soap, just cover it and allow it to heat up a little bit before you continue turning again, and it will all disappear. So what I added now after the caustic soda was my foaming agent, which is sulfonic. You can use the foam booster that is sold in the market. You can use SLS. You can use any type of foam booster you want to use. But if you don't add, this soap will not foam well, because tallow oil does not foam. But this quantity of sulfonic acid, I'm using sulfonic acid because it's a very concentrated, high quality foaming agent, high quality surfactant, and it does not contain water in it. So the tiniest quantity of sulfonic acid I add will give me a very beautiful outcome, compared to me diluting 100 grams of SLS in 1 liter. The quantity will actually be reduced, but sulfonic acid is very concentrated, and you can't compare the power of sulfonic acid with the liquid soap you make or the foam boosters that contains water in the market. I hope you understand. So then you add in your fragrance. I don't know the fragrance you are using, but just adding, at least because of the quantity of tallow in this recipe, you may need up to 50 ml of fragrance to 60 ml of fragrance. Remember, the water quantity is 3.5 liters. Remember, the oil quantity is 4 liters. So in total, we'll be having a total volume of 7.5 liters by volume, added with the weight of the dry things that we dissolved. This is the quantity of the volume of soap that we'll be pouring into our mold. So once you are done, you have gotten to this stage, you can give yourself a thumbs up, because you have actually gotten to almost to the end of making your soap. Just watch your soap turn. Make sure there is no oil floating. Don't rush. Make sure there is no oil floating. If you see any oil floating, it means your soap has not fully saponified. So continue turning. Give it almost 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Turn well. Turn your soap well before you turn it into your mold. You can see I waited a while and I saw a little bit oil on the surface. If you see this, just continue turning and make sure it is all incorporated and everything saponifies well before you pour your soap. I have to hold this part of this video so that you can see it very well and zoom it. Thank you. I deal mostly on household cleaning agents. All of them you can actually think of in your head. I can teach you how to make them. I have good videos and recipes here on my YouTube channel that you can use to actually start up your production. If you want to go into a bigger business and you need my help to teach you how to make one or two things, and even laundry bar soap, bathing bars, you can also chat me up using my phone number that you are seeing on the screen, and then I will put you through, enroll you in any of my classes. Anyone you want to enroll to, just chat me up on WhatsApp. Please chat me up, not calls. Chat me up. I don't like people just calling me randomly in the middle of the night and expect me to be awake with them and just be discussing one funny thing or the other. Please just chat me up. It's actually more modest. And then remember that the number you are seeing on the screen is a business line. So once you are chatting it up, just after exchanging pleasantry, just go straight to the point, so that immediately I read your message, I reply to it. Please. Thank you all. So once you have gotten to this stage, you already have a very good texture. Your trace is very beautiful. You can now pour it into your mold. So, but be quick, if not, it will thicken up. So scoop them into your mold, pour it into your mold, and then scoop the buckets very well. Scrape everything. No soap is a waste. Allow it to harden up. You can make the soap at night. By the next day, you cut it. Immediately you cut the soap, air it to dry. By evening time, you can now stamp it because the surface will now be very firm enough. Then you arrange it for curing. Remember, it's cold process, so you need to give it some days before you package. Roughly within the next 4 to 5 days, you should be able to package your soap, and then you start selling. The remaining of the curing process can be happening in the people's shop, not in your house. You need to sell out so that you can remake the batch. So when you are calculating if you are making profits in bar soap making, please stop calculating it with 1 liter recipe. Please make a full 25 liters batch and then run your calculation to know if you have profit or not. But trust me, there is profit in bar soap.